So, chapter 7 is called Friend. I think I could go for one or two more chapters. I think I should be okay. Part 1. I decided to try going out. It wasn't easy for Roxy to bring me out. This shouldn't be wasted. Dad, can I go out to play? On a particular day, I asked Paul while carrying a botanical encyclopedia. Kids around this age will run off to unknown places in a blink of an eye. Even though I won't go very far away, not telling someone will make my parents worry. Outside to play? Not in the courtyard? Yes. Oh, of course. He easily agrees. Come to think of it, there wasn't really any personal time given to you. We made arbitrary decisions to let you learn magic and sword techniques at the same time, but playing is also important for a child. I'm grateful to have met a great teacher. I actually thought Paul was a very strict person in regards to education, but in reality he has a tender side to his thinking. I even considered it the possibility of being requested to train my sword techniques for the entire day. What a waste of my efforts. Even though he's a person who belongs to the instinctive side, he is not the if there's a will, there's a way type. Come to think of it, you actually want to go outside, I always felt your body was weak in the past. Time passes by really quickly. Did you consider my body to be weak? This is the first time I've heard of it. I haven't caught any illnesses. Because you didn't cry at all when you were young. Is that so? Well, isn't it good there's nothing wrong? You raised a cute and robust kid, hey? I show a funny face to Paul, and he smiles wryly at me. You're actually making me worry when you're not acting like a kid. Which part are you unsatisfied with? When your eldest son is reliable? No, nothing really. It's okay if you educated me with an unsatisfied expression to become a worthy successor of the Greyrat family. I could say without pride that your dad is a wild child who only thinks of flipping girls' skirts all day long. Flipping skirts? This world also has it? This world has skirts. This guy actually saying that he's a wild child? If you want to be worthy of the Greyrat's name, bring a girlfriend back. Oh, what? We're that type of family? Aren't we protecting the borders? Aren't we lower ranked nobles? There aren't any formalities or anything. No, in any case, we're only lower ranked. Then let it be that way. I got it. Alright, he's like, I got it. Then I'll go to the village to find a place where I can flip skirts. You must treat girls nicely. Also, don't be haughty, because you're strong and capable of using magic. The strength of a male doesn't exist for the purpose of putting on airs. Oh, that was well said. Indeed, indeed. I really want to let my past brothers listen to that, too. That's right. Just using brute force to do things is pointless. Paul said it very well. I'm also a logical person. I understand, Dad. The purpose of being strong is to act cool in front of girls. No, it's not like that. The topic isn't going towards that direction? Oops. I'm just kidding. It exists to protect the weak, right? That's right. As we finished talking about this, I placed the botanical encyclopedia under my arm and stick the rod Roxy gave me onto my waist. As I prepared to depart, I suddenly remembered something and turned my head. Wait, that's right. Dad, I will go out from time to time in the future, but I'll tell someone if I go out and I won't miss my daily sword and magic practice. I'll come back before dusk and I won't go to dangerous places. I'll make things clear just in case. I'll suddenly become speechless. Actually, these are supposed to be your lines, right? Well, I'm heading out. Be careful on the road. Just like that, I walked out the gate. Something a bit quick before we continue to part 2. Just want to say thank you for watching up to this point. If you like listening to the stories, definitely hit that like button and subscribe. I plan on doing other light novels in the future. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy the rest. After a few days, the outside isn't scary. It's smooth. I even managed to cheerfully greet the people who pass by. Everyone knows me too. Paul and Zenith's kid, Roxy's disciple. I'll introduce myself to the people I meet for the first time. I'll say hello to the people I meet the second time. Everyone replies to me with a smile on their face too. It's been such a long time since I felt so relaxed. More than half of the reason for this is due to Paul and Zenith's fame. The rest is thanks to Roxy. These are basically Roxy's efforts. I'll take good care of the divine artifact. Part 3. Well now, the goal of going out is to rely on my own feet, including my foot between my... including my foot between my legs, and memorize the surroundings geography. If I memorize it, I won't be lost, even if I suddenly get chased out from home. I won't be lost even if I suddenly get chased out from home to chase after skirts. At the same time, I want to investigate the plants. Incidentally, I have the botanical encyclopedia. I can identify what's edible and what's not, as well as differentiate between medicinal and poisonous plants. It's good to identify them when you're hungry. That way, even if I'm chased out of my home, I won't get hungry. Roxy just gave me a rough idea about the village plants, wheat, vegetables, and ingredients for creating perfume. The ingredients for creating the perfumes are the flowers from the plant named Bardius, which resembles lavender, faint purplish color, and also edible, with emphasis on eye-catching plants. I compare the plants I see with the botanical encyclopedia, but the village isn't very big, so there aren't many varieties of plants. After a few days, my routes have become broader. I started moving in direction to the forest. There are many types of plants in the forest. Based on the rumors, it is more dangerous inside the forest because mana tends to gather there easily. The areas where mana tends to gather easily will have a higher chance of creating monsters. This is because creatures will undergo sudden changes due to the mana. Though, I don't know why mana gathers inside the forest so easily. But this area has very few monsters. Here, since the village will hunt them periodically, making it safer. Monster hunting is exactly as the word sounds. Every month, knights, hunters, and self-patrolling team of men will go out in force to enter the forest and clear them out. But it is said that deep inside the forest there might be the possibility of a fearsome monster. Even though I know magic and have some form of fighting strength, I'm still a NEET who has never fought before. I can't be arrogant. I don't actually have combat experience. It would be terrible if I made a mistake because of complacency. I've seen a lot of people dying like that in manga. Also, I'm not a hot-blooded person. I feel that avoiding fights is the best. If I see any creature, I'll run to Paul and report it. I'll do just that. I climb up a small hill as I think. There's a huge solitary tree that stands high above. It's the biggest tree around here. I'm planning to check out what sort of trees here are the biggest. And at that moment, demons shouldn't be here! The voice carried along with the wind. It reminds me of a hated memory. The kind that made stay home as a NEET. As well as the nightmarish time when I had the nickname Uncircumcised Dong. And this voice greatly resembles the voice that used to call me that. Clearly distinct voices belong to bullies. Get lost! Eat this! I managed to hit! I take a look over and find the field that turned into a marsh-like area. from the recent rainy days. In the field, I see 3 mud-covered kids throwing mud at a small boy. You get 10 points if you hit the head. Okay, I got it. Wow, this is really irritating. Bullies spotted these delinquents. Oh, bullies spotted. These delinquents feel like it's fine to do anything to the lower ranked people in society. Buying air guns and shooting at them. It's clearly stated that you can't shoot at humans. They don't even treat people as humans. You can't treat them as humans. And talking about that small boy, it would be fine if he runs away quickly, but I don't understand why he's taking his sweet time. I take another look at him, and finally realize that he's carrying something like a basket in front of his chest, hugging it to protect it from the mud. Thus, he's unable to avoid the attacks from the bullies. He's carrying something! The demon's treasure! He must have stolen it from somewhere. Hitting it gets 100 points. Steal the treasure! As I run towards the bullying boys, I create a mud ball using magic. The instant I'm within firing range, I throw it with all my strength. What's wrong? I hit the face of one who looks like the leader. Ouch! It went into my eyes! What are you doing? Get lost if it doesn't concern you. Are you trying to become the ally of the demon races? The target changed to me in an instant. This is the same no matter what world it is. I'm not an ally. I'm not an ally of the demon races. I'm the ally of the weak. I said with pride, but the boys feel that they are standing on justice's side. What the heck are you acting cool for? You're the kid from that night, right? The noble's young master? Ha! Arara. Irara? Am I saying this right? I don't even know. This is bad. My identity has been divulged? Do you really think it's good for a knight's kid to do this? I'll tell other people that knights have become allies with the demon races. Tell our brother to come now. Brother, there's a strange person here. The kids use call for allies, but it isn't effective at all. However, my legs are trembling. Gosh, even though it's 3 people on the other side, the fact that my legs went weak because the kids shouted is really too embarrassing. Is this the result of being bullied into a NEET? Shut up! You're the worst for bullying one person when you have 3. They showed a haunt expression. Annoying. You're the one who's annoying. What are you shouting for, idiot? Because I'm angry. I throw a ball at them. It misses. Idiot. Where did this guy pick up a mud from? Who cares? Just throw back at him. I'm treated with thrice the retaliation. I rely on what Paul had taught me, and use my magic to avoid them elegantly. I can't hit him. Why are you evading? Huh, it's nothing special if you can't hit me. They keep throwing for a while, but after realizing they can't hit me, they stop, as if they were finding it boring. This is boring. Let's go. I'll tell others that the knight's kid has become an ally of the demon races. We didn't lose. We only got tired playing. Leaving this line of argument behind, the 3 brats walk the other way of the wheat field. Success! I won against the bullies for the first time in my life. Well, it's nothing much to be proud of. Well, come to think of it, I'm still not good at fighting. It's great that it didn't turn into a fight. Hey, are you alright? Are your things fine? In any case, I turned my head back to look at the boy who was thrown at. Whoa! There's a Bishonen who makes people think he's not of the same age. Hair slightly too long for a child, sculpted like a nose, small cute lips, pointed chin, his porcelain-like skin, along with an expression like a frightened rabbit, creates an indescribable aesthetic of beauty to him. Damn, if Paul was more of a Bishonen, then maybe I would also... No, Paul isn't bad. Zenith is also very good looking. This face has no problems. Compared to the previous face that was full of, calluses. Or celiosis? Celiosis. Eh? There's absolutely no problem. Definitely. Yep. I'm fine. The young boy shows a weak expression. He's almost like a small animal, making people feel like there's a need to protect it. This is an instant hook to any Shotokan. Oh, to any Shotokan One-san if they saw him. But he's dirtied by mud. Mud is everywhere on his clothes. Half of his face is covered in mud, and his hair has been turned into a mud of color. It's a miracle that he managed to protect the basket. There's no choice. Put the things down and kneel beside the drain over there for a while. Eh? Eh? Even though he is bewildered, I don't know why he still followed the order. As if is unable to go against any order. Well, if he was able to go against orders, he would have retaliated just now. The young boy goes down on all fours and faces toward the drain. If any... Gee, okay, guys. If any Shotokan Oni-chan saw that, he would definitely have done something that is illegal. Close your eyes. I adjust the temperature of the water to an appropriate level with fire magic. I create a warm water at around 40 degrees and pour it over the young boy. Whoa! I grab the panicking boy's neck and wash clean the mud from his hair. Even though he resisted at the start, after he got used to the temperature, he quiets down. His clothes, well, it's better to wash it at home. Alright, this should be enough. After washing the mud off, I use fire magic to create a hot wind like an air dryer, as I use a handkerchief to carefully wipe the boy's face. Along with elf-like long ears, his emerald-colored hair also appears before me. The moment I saw the color, I remember Roxy's words. Absolutely, do not approach the race with emerald-colored hair. No, there's something slightly different. I remember. It's to those with emerald-colored hair, with a ruby-colored stone on their forehead. Do not approach them. Right. That's right. A race that has a ruby-colored stone on their forehead. The young boy has a big forehead with a beautiful white color. Okay, it's safe. He's not from the dangerous Subird race. Thanks. I come back senses after he thanks me. Hey, that made me jump a little. I give conceited advice to him with a slight intent of venting my embarrassment. Hey, you, if you don't fight back, they will always come after you. I can't win. The most important thing is to have the will to fight back. But there are always bigger kids, and I'm scared of pain. I see. If he resists, then they will call other people to completely force him into submission. This is certainly the same in any world. Because of Roxy's efforts, the adults accept the demon races, but children are different. Sometimes they are incredibly cruel. If anyone is slightly different, they would reject them. It must be hard on you. Because your hair color resembles that of the Subird race, you got bullied. Are you fine with it? It's because my teacher is from a demon race. What race are you from? Roxy said the Midgard race is supposed to be the Subird race. Wait. Roxy said the Midgard race is close to the Subird race. Perhaps he is also something like that. I ask him with a line of thought, but the young boy shakes his head. I don't know. You don't know. Perhaps it's because of his age. What's your father's race? He's half human, half elf. What about your mother? Human, but she also has a little of a beast race lineage. Half-elf and 1/4 of beast race lineage. That is why he has that kind of hair. And I'm thinking it through. The young boy's eyes fill with tears. So, even though my father says I'm not from a demon race, my hair color is different from my father and mother's. I comfort him by stroking his head. But it's also a big problem if the hair color is different. There's a possibility of his mother committing adultery with another guy. The only difference is the hair color? My ears are longer than father's. I see. Green-haired, long-ear magical races. It could be possible that anywhere has that. Even though I don't want to ask too much about a person's home. I'm also a bullied child, so it's best to help him. It's too sad if he gets bullied just because of his hair color. The fact I got bullied is partly my fault. But this young boy is different. Reincarnating and then relying on himself is impossible. He has been pelted with mud because of his hair color. It's slightly green since birth. Just thinking of that. Wait. Oh, wait. Ooh, just thinking of that makes me frightened enough to pee. Is your father nice to you? Yes. Even though he's scary when he's angry, he won't get angry if I listen to him. Is that so? How about your mother? She's very gentle. Oh, from his voice, his parents are very loving towards him. No, you can't really be clear about these things. Alright, let's go. Go where? I'll follow you. Following the kid will allow me to see his parents. It's super logical. Why do you want to follow me? Well, you see, those guys might come back. Let me escort you. Are you going back, or do you want to send the basket somewhere? I'm sending food to father. His father is half-elf. When it comes to elves in storybooks, they are long-lived, solitary, and arrogant to other races. They are well-versed in archery and magic, especially water and wind magic, with bona fide long ears. According to Roxy, basically the description fits, but they aren't really a race that's closed off. Just as expected. Are the elves beautiful in appearance? No, elves being beautiful is merely Japanese imagination. In Western games, they are frail looking and don't really look that pretty. There are some cultural differences in our countries. Although, from looking at this boy, one would know that his parents must be a striking combination of charm. May I ask why you are protecting me? The young boy stutters, with his actions seemingly raising as a desire to protect him. As my father says, it's a must to be an ally of the weak. But you will get shunned by others. That's true. If I help a bullied child, or if I help bullied people, I also get bullied. A common thing. Then, how about you play with me? From today onward, we're friends. So let's form a tag team, yeah? Chain bullying usually happens after the helped party betrays its benefactor. The person who got help should take up responsibility and be grateful to the person who helped. Although the circumstances around this boy are different, there's a more deep-rooted reason for his bullying. I doubt he will betray me and join in the bullying. You don't need to help with... Wait. Do you need to help with housework? No. I also need to listen to his opinions. But he shakes his head with a weak expression. His expression is just too amazing. He will absolutely hook One-chans with Shotokan tendencies. Well, this idea is pretty good. He will definitely be popular among the girls with his face. Then, if I'm with him, anyone who's left over might take notice of me, even though my face isn't anything special. If we two guys stand together, we will look like a quality catch. Any girl who are not so confident will change their target to me. I might prefer them over the girls brimming with confidence. It should work. Girls will move together with uglier ones to accentuate their beauty. I'm the opposite. Sylph, he quietly whispers, but I didn't hear the latter half of it. Sylph, huh? It's a great name, just like the water, just like the spirit of the wind. As I say it, Sylph blushes and nods. Part 4. Sylph's dad is also a Bishonen. A Bishonen? Or is it Bishonen? Long pointed ears, shining golden hair, a little body without muscles. He doesn't stain the reputation of a half-elf in the slightest, and as a male, he inherited the good points of the elves and the human race. He's standing on top of the watchtower and his hand holding a bow while overseeing the forest. Dad, this bento... I'm always troubling you, Luffy. You didn't get bullied today. No, someone helped me. Introduced by his eyes. I make a simple greeting. Luffy is his nickname, huh? Why is there a feeling that he will suddenly extend his limbs? Oh, that's a One Piece joke. Right. Luffy. Luffy. If Sylph was so optimistic, he might not have been bullied. I'm pleased to meet you. My name is Rudeus Greyrat. Greyrat? You're Paul's family? Yes, Paul is my father. Oh, I heard of you. You're a really polite child. Oh, my apologies. I'm Rawls. I'm usually hunting in the forest. According to him, this watchtower is meant to observe if any monsters come from the forest, or it is manned 24 hours a day. Patrolled by the men of the village, Paul also takes a shift, so Rawls has met up with him before, and the two of them have discussed their children with each other. Our child appears this way because she resembles our ancestors a little. Please get along well with this child. Of course. Even if Sylph is from the Subard race, my attitude will not change. I swear upon my father's name. After hearing that, Rawls utters a voice of admiration. You understand about honor at such a young age. I'm envious of Paul having such an excellent child. Being excellent when one is young does mean that one will continue to be excellent. It's not too late if you want to be envious. You can wait until Sylph grows up. I also need to comfort Sylph at the same time. I see. You're exactly as Paul described. What did Father say? He says he loses confidence as a father when he converses with you. Is that so? Well, I will do some wrong things from now on so he can give me a sermon. The corner of my sleeves is pulled as I'm talking about this. When I look back, I see Sylph is lowering his head while pulling on my sleeves. Is it too boring for a child when talking to adults? Ralston, can we play for a while? Ah, of course, but don't approach the forest. It isn't really necessary for this point to be said, but it's probably insufficient. There's a really big tree up on that hill when we came here. We will play over there. I'll bring Sylph back before the sun sets. But if you don't see us when you return home, then possibility of us being in some form very high. So please search for us then. Ah, ha. Well, this is a world without headphones. Reports, communications, and discussions must be held up. There's no possible way to completely avoid accidents. It is imperative to immediately take corrective actions. Even though there is good national security in this country, one wouldn't know what sort of dangers are lurking. Amidst Rawl's stunned gaze, we walk towards the big tree in the hills. Well, what should we play? Don't know. I never played with friends before. Soph seems to be hesitating about friends issue. He probably didn't have any friends before. How sad. Even though I don't have friends now either. Come to think of it, I'm also one who stayed indoors until now. What shall we play? Sylph fidgets with his hands and looks up to me by raising his head. I'm about the same height as he was, but he's bending his body while raising his head to look at me. Why do you change between I boku and I ore from time to time? Huh? It's impolite if you don't change your speech accordingly to match the person's position. It's necessary to use polite speech towards someone with higher position. Polite speech? It is what I did earlier? He doesn't seem to understand, but this is something that one will slowly learn. This is how one becomes an adult. Instead of this, about that earlier, teach me. That earlier? Sylph blinks and uses his hands to explain. The hot water that gushes out from your hands, and the hot wind that blows. That. That. The magic that I'd used to wash off the mud from him. Is it hard? Even though it's hard, if you practice, anyone can do it, probably. The recent capacity of mana has increased so much that I don't know how much I have. Plus, I'm not sure about the average mana capacity of the people here. Although it is just fire magic to heat up water, if it's not using voiceless incantation to create instant hot water, then anyone is probably able to replicate it using melted magic. So it should be fine. Probably. Alright, from today on, we will have special training. Soph and I played like this until dawn. Part 5. When I reach home, I find Paul in a bad mood. He's showing off an angry expression. Both of his hands are on his waist, as he's standing in the veranda. Did I screw something up? If I think about it, there's only the divine artifact that I carefully kept. He thinks about the panties, but had been discovered? Dad, I'm home. Do you know why I'm angry? No. Pretend that I don't know. If the divine artifact isn't actually discovered, then I'm digging my own grave. Just earlier, Miss Ada came to look for me. It seems you hit her kid, Somar. Ada Somar? Who? I begin to think of names that I have never heard of before. Basically, I only greeted others in this village. Announce my own name, and the other people will say theirs too. Are there any among them whose name's Ada? Feels like yes and no. Wait. Is it about today? Yes. I met Soph, Rawls, and 3 brats today. That seems Somar is one of the 3 brats? I didn't hit him, I only threw mud. Do you remember what I said earlier? Being strong isn't for the purpose of being cool. That's right. Oh, I see. Come to think of it, those guys said they would announce that I had become the ally of the demon races. I'm not so sure what sort of lies they hit me with, but any case, they're directed at me. I'm not sure what sort of rumors Dad heard. No, if you did something wrong, you must first apologize. I get scolded hard. I'm not sure what he heard, but he doesn't seem to suspect it. What a pain. In this situation, even if I say that I helped Sylph because they were bullying him, It will sound a lie. It will sound like a lie? But I can only start from the beginning. Actually, I was walking on my way. Don't find excuses. Paul's getting more and more impatient. Never mind lies. Even my explanation won't get through. Even though it's okay to say sorry first, I don't think it's good for Paul. I don't want my younger brother or sister to meet such unfair treatment either. This style of education is not okay. Alright, let's see. There's like a long pause. What's the matter? Why are you being quiet? Because anything I say is an excuse for you to scold me. What did you say? Paul looks at me in fury. Getting angry and forcing a child to apologize before saying anything. It really makes me envious. The adult's methods are so convenient and easy. Rudy! My face receives a fiery strike. I got hit. But that is to be expected. Provoking someone will certainly mean getting hit. Of course, it will happen. So I stood firm. I haven't been hit for nearly 20 years. No, I was beaten all over when I left the house. So that's 5 years. Father, I have done everything I can to be a good child. I have never betrayed my parents' lessons, and I've accomplished things with my efforts. That has nothing to do with today, right? Paul didn't expect to hit me. He's obviously in confusion. Well, that's good. No, it has everything to do with it. I have worked hard to gain Father's trust and to have a peace of mind, yet Father doesn't even listen to any of my explanations. Trusts someone who I've never met blindly, and then yells at me before finally hitting me. But that kid Somar really did get hurt. He did? That isn't something I did. Did he do it himself? He might have done an accident faker stunt. But in any case, it's such a pity. I'm the one with justice on my side. It isn't a lie about falling down by accident. It isn't a lie about falling down by accident. Even if he got hurt because of me, I will not apologize, since I have not betrayed Father's lessons. I can even raise my chest up to say that it was done by me. Wait, what exactly happened? Oh. So now he's thinking in his mind, oh, you're finally interested? Well, that's your decision to not listen. Didn't you refuse to hear any excuses? As a counter with my question, Paul displays a pained expression. It seems he needs another push. Don't worry, Father. I will act as if I didn't see 3 people hitting a defenseless person. I might as well join them to make it a 4 versus 1. I will even announce everywhere that bullying the weak is Greyrat's proud lessons. Then, when I grow up, I'll leave home and not call myself a Greyrat anymore. Disregarding that kind of violence is both verbal and physical abuse, and continuing to allow it to happen makes me feel ashamed to call myself a Greyrat. Paul becomes speechless. His face turns green and then red, as if he is very conflicted. Is he angry? Or does he need another push? Give it up, Paul. I'm a 20-year-old guy, or I'm a 20-plus-year-old guy who has constantly found excuses to situations one couldn't win. If there's the slightest opening, I can debate things to draw. Plus, I'm completely in the right. You simply don't have any chance of winning. I'm sorry. It's Father's mistake. Tell me about it. Paul lowers his head to me. That's right. Pointless insistence will only make both parties unhappy. If you're wrong, just apologize. This is for the best. As my mood lightens up, I state things in detail to explain the incident. I heard 3 voices when I climbed up the hill. 3 kids were throwing mud from the wheat field. After I threw mud at them twice and quarreled with them, they left after insulting us with a few lines. After that, I used magic to wash the kid clean and played with him. Something like that. Then, if there's a need to apologize, Somer should do it to Sylph first. It's easy for the wounds on a body to heal quickly, but it isn't for something done to the mind. You're right. It's father's fault. I'm sorry. Paul lowers his shoulders in defeat. I remember what Rawls said earlier today. When I see him this way, he seems to lose his confidence as a father when he converses with you. It might be possible that Paul is trying to teach me a lesson to show his side as a father. Well, he only fails this once. There's no need to apologize. If you feel that I did something wrong, please scold me without reservations, but please listen to my explanations. Even if it doesn't explain enough or sounds like an excuse, I would like to have something that I want to say. Please try to understand my thoughts. I will take notice of it, but don't think that you will actually make mistakes. Then treat it as an educational experience and use it on my future siblings. Let's do that. Paul's expression is completely full of defeat and self-mockery. Did I overdo it? Losing to a 5-year-old kid? I would be shocked too if it was me. This guy is still very young for a father. Come to think of it, father. How old are you? 24 years old. What's the matter? I see. Having me at 19 years old? Even though I don't know the average marrying age, if he's completely having to face monsters or wars, it's kind of appropriate to marry at 19. A guy who's younger than me marrying someone and having to worry about his child's education. Honestly, which part of the 34-year-old me who's jobless, homeless, achievementless actually wins compared to him? Oh, forget it. Father, can I bring Sylph here to play next time? Of course. I enter the house, as I'm satisfied with his reply. It is good that Paul doesn't discriminate against the demon races. Part 6. Paul's point of view. My son got angry. He, who has never expressed himself much before, has a quiet fury with him now. How did things end up this way? The incident happened this afternoon, when Miss Ada came to our home to make a huge fuss. She brought her child, Somar, who has been touted as a horrible brat by others, and the corners of his eyes are bruised. As a swordsman, I had enough experience to see that it was a sign of being beaten. Miss Ada wasn't very clear, but in any case, my son has hit Somar. Hearing this, I am actually relieved. There's probably Rudy wanting to join Somar in company to play. But my son is different from other children. He's a water saint ranked magician at his young age. He must have arrogantly said something and got into a fight after being rebuted. Although, my son is honest and smart. He still resembles a child in some areas. Miss Ada makes it seem like a great deal, but that's just kids' quarrel. Based on what I see, that injury wouldn't leave a scar. I'll finish things with a few lines of scolding. Children surely quarrel, but Rudy is more powerful than any other child. Besides, being a disciple of a young water saint ranked magician Roxy, he's also taught me and trained his body since he was 3 years old. It would have been a one-sided affair. It should be okay if it's only today, but if he gets too emotional, he might overdo things. Plus, Rudy's so smart that he should be able to solve things without hitting Somar. I must teach him that fighting is a lack of thinking things. I must teach him that fighting is a lack of thinking things through, and he needs to consider the aftermath before acting. I need to be stricter here, but things didn't turn out the way I envisioned. My son didn't intend to apologize at all. Never mind about him apologizing. He's even looking at me like he's looking at a bug. Maybe, from my son's point of view, it's a fight against numbers. But he needs to realize that the stronger you are, the more you need to be conscious of your strength. Furthermore, he even injured someone. He even injured someone. In any case, I'll let him apologize. He's really clever. Maybe he can't accept it for now, but he will find the answer by himself sooner or later. Oh. Well, I thought of that, and used a harder tone to scold him. He refuted me with a few sarcastic remarks. I lost my temper to his provocation and hit him. Even though I wanted to teach him that the strong need to be conscious of their own strength and not use violence against the weak, I actually did it first. I was wrong earlier, but I am on the side as an educator, so I can't apologize. Teaching someone not to do what I just did, this argument simply doesn't hold water. While I'm incoherent, my son went on to state that he has done nothing wrong, and said if it's not okay, he will leave this home. I nearly said the words, then get lost, but I restrained myself. I have to restrain myself at this moment. I was the one who originally couldn't bear my home's formal rules. My strict parents' rebukes before finally having a huge quarrel and leaving home. I inherited my father's blood, inherited that stubborn, rigid father's blood. Rudeus is the same. Looking at this stubborn part, Rudeus is indeed my child. That day, when I told him to leave immediately, I couldn't find a way out and really left home. Rudeus would probably leave too, even though he said he would only leave after growing up. If I told him to leave, he would definitely leave immediately. It seems that father fell sick not long after I left and died. I heard that he terribly regretted that day's quarrel, and so this incident I blamed myself. Not to be clear about this, I was drowning in regret. And right now, if I told Rudeus to leave, he would surely do so, and I would regret this. Both of us would regret this. Endure it. I must learn from experience. Also, didn't I decide it then? I won't become like my father? I'm sorry. It's father's fault. Please tell me. I naturally apologized, and Rudeus's expression also relaxes, and he explains it lightly. Based on what he said, he incidentally saw Rawl's kid being bullied, so he helped that kid. There wasn't any beating. He only threw mud, and there wasn't a fight at all. If what he said was true, then what Rudeus did is indeed something for him to be proud of, but instead of praising him, I didn't listen to his explanation and hit him. Ah, I remember now. I had experiences like this when I was young. Father didn't listen to me and only pointed at my weakness. I was unhappy every time over this. What a failure. What's with? It's a must to educate him. Rudeus didn't blame me, even consoled me at the end. What an amazing son. Is this really my son? No. Even among people who Zenith might have had an affair with, really wasn't anyone who was so brilliant. Ugh. Is my seed that good? Rather than saying I'm proud, I think my stomach is hurting. Father, can I bring Sylph over? Sure. But I think I should be happy over my son's first friend. Alright.